DJ, you in the booth. Blueprints in the booth.
Money trees, but yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, we playing true.
yeah, yeah,
Ooh.
yeah.
Came up counting every coupon, stretching out the pay. Now I'm reading every contract, watching what I say. Own the name, own the game, that's a different lane. Equity in everything, that's a different chain. Talk numbers on the mic, not rumors in the chat. If it never made a profit, how you calling that a stat? I was broke in the flesh, but my mind stayed rich. Turned a hustle to a system, then I flipped that switch. Assets on the board, I don't flex receipt. I want rent every month while my son's asleep. I want trust funds funded off the work I did, so my grandkids wealthy off the words I spit.
Money trees, but yes.
Plant that seed, let it grow slow, that's all we need. Roots in the ground, roots in the sky. We build it brick by brick, we don't chase that. Money trees, but yes, talk that plan. From a small stack to a whole new land. Say ownership, say legacy. Every bar blueprint, repeat after me. Yeah, I'm long term living in a quick hit era. Everybody want a viral, I just want a better ledger. You outside spending, I'm inside learning. Let the compound work while the clock keeps turning. I don't chase clout fade too fast. I'm trying to own the show, own the masses, own the land tax. Streams pay pennies, but the brand paid plenty. Turn a clip to a client, then a client to 20. Talk mindset shift, that's a rebrand soul. From I get rich someday, till I'm doing what I'm told. By the habits, by the math, by the notes I keep. I let the numbers talk for me while I get some sleep. I'm a landlord of ideas, tenant of the grind. Lease up fear, a Vic broke mine. Every episode a ladder, every gem a leaf. Watch the forest grow wide from a single belief. Money trees, podcast, plant that seed. Let it grow slow, that's all we need. Roots in the ground, roots in the sky. We build it brick by brick, we don't chase that. Money trees, podcast, talk that plan. From a small stack to a whole new land. Say ownership, say legacy. Every bar blueprint, repeat after me. Yeah. Started with a vision and a notebook, facts. Now it's family on the cap table, all on the track. If I win, then we win, that's the way I see every branch in the fan from this money tree. Money trees, podcast, plant that seed. Let it grow slow, that's all we need. Roots in the ground, roots in the sky. We build it brick by brick, we don't chase that. Money trees, podcast, talk that plan. From a small stack to a whole new land. Say ownership, say legacy. Yeah, if you drop game, that's the key to be free. Money trees, podcast.
Welcome to the show. Dangerous Zygos. Let me start with $10,000 and one website, TreasuryDirect.gov. No broker, no flashy app, no little fee nibbling at your pockets while you try to level up.
And that right there is why this matters. You can invest directly with the U.S. government, directly, as in you open the line yourself. No middleman taking a cut, no platform trying to gamify your future. From a currency development perspective, that's foundational infrastructure for personal wealth.
See, that word directly is the part a lot of people miss. They think investing always has to come through some app store logo, some brokerage account, some extra layer. But TreasuryDirect.gov is really just the source.
Exactly. And it's free to sign up. Free. That's the specific thing people need to hear. No fancy buy-in just to get in the door. You go to TreasuryDirect.gov, click, open an account, put in your social, your bank info, your email, set up your security login, and you're in the system.
And let me keep it real. When you get on there, it may look old school. It does not look like some neon futuristic money app. But I've learned in music, in business, in building from scratch in Florida after Ohio. The flashy thing ain't always the money thing. Sometimes the real tool got the plain face.
That's a bar, because this is not about entertainment. This is about safety. TreasuryDirect is one of the safest investment sources in the world because you're dealing with the US government backing the instrument, not hype, not a rumor in a group chat, structure.
Wait, one of the safest in the world is the phrase I want people to sit with, because we've been trained to chase fast movement. If money isn't dancing every hour, people think nothing's happening.
Quiet growth is happening. That's the whole point of safe money. It builds while you sleep. It doesn't need to trend. It doesn't need a viral clip. It doesn't need everybody in your comments section calling it genius. It just needs consistency.
And that's why we wanted this episode, because we talk ownership, we talk legacy, we talk hustle. But hustle without a foundation can turn into just motion. A lot of people are moving, not enough are anchoring.
Let me push that sharper. If every move in your financial life is high risk, then you're not building an empire, or you're improvising one. Safe money is the concrete under the building. People overlook it because it's not dramatic.
So if somebody's listening and they think, man, this sounds too simple, that's actually the sign, right? Because the overlooked move is usually the one nobody bragging about at the club.
Correct. The information is public. The access is public. The website is public. TreasuryDirect.gov. It is available to everybody. The gap is not availability. It's familiarity. Folks don't do it because nobody put it in plain language.
And that's what we're here for. Where hip-hop meets the hustle for generational wealth. Yeah, but also where we take the mystery out of the tools. Because if the government is willing to pay you for safe saving and you never even looked, that's not a money problem. That's an information problem.
And once you solve the information problem, you can start making smart, boring, beautiful moves. So let's name the actual play, an I bond. An I bond is a government savings bond that earns interest over time and adjusts with inflation. That's the mechanism. Savings bond, interest over time, inflation adjustment.
The inflation adjustment part, that's the jewel. Because when inflation goes up, your interest goes up too. So this isn't just money sitting there asleep. It's designed to respond.
Right. And right now, the combined rate is around 4%, around 4. People hear that and shrug because they're addicted to moonshot language. But that 4% is attached to stability. That's a different category of return.
Yeah, because in some corners of the internet, if it doesn't promise to 10x by Tuesday, folks act like it's trash. But 4% backed by the US government is not the same conversation as some wild gamble.
This ain't crypto. This ain't gambling. This is stability. And I want to be precise about that contrast. Crypto might swing. Gambling definitely swings. An I bond is for preserving and steadily growing capital in a safer lane.
Let me try to explain it back. So it's basically the government saying, put your money here, let it earn over time, and if inflation gets hotter, we adjust so you're not just getting cooked in the background. Is that fair?
Approving, then correcting close. Not exactly so you're not getting cooked in every possible sense. But yes, the important part is the bond adjusts with inflation. That's why it stands out. It isn't pretending inflation doesn't exist.
And that matters because inflation is one of those things people feel before they can define it. Groceries feel different. Rent feels different. Everyday life feels different. So hearing adjust with inflation isn't abstract. That's household language.
Exactly. In currency development, you learn fast that protecting value matters as much as chasing value. Everybody wants upside. Fewer people think in terms of defense. An I bond belongs on the defensive side of wealth strategy.
Defense wins championships. And in money, defense is underrated because it doesn't make for sexy screenshots. Nobody posts a stable account and says, look, I made a responsible decision.
But responsible decisions are how generations change. That's the deeper implication. The US government backing it is not just a footnote. That's the entire reason people categorize this as low risk and steady growth.
You know what this reminds me of? Coming up, a lot of us were taught hustle, not structure. Go get it. Make something happen. Flip this. Chase that. And there's value in hustle. Obviously, that's my life. But nobody sat us down and said, here's a tool for safe money. Not exciting money, safe money.
which is why safe money sounds foreign when it should sound normal. People know how to risk everything for a dream. They don't always know how to protect what the dream finally pays.
And that may be the whole lesson right there. Once the music money comes in, once the business money comes in, once the side hustle finally works, where does some of it go so it can sit in peace and still grow? TreasuryDirect, I-bonds, around 4%. That's not hype. That's a home for part of the bag. Let's put numbers on it because numbers make it real. If you put in $10,000 and the rate is around 4%, that's about $400 a year. $400 without needing the market to love you, without needing a coin to trend, without needing luck.
And that $400 on 10,000 example is memorable because it's so plain. It's not fantasy math. It's a clear benchmark. Risk-free in the way we're framing this can beat a lot of regular savings accounts people leave their cash in.
That's the thing. A lot of folks got money parked somewhere basically taking a nap. So when they hear 4%, they compare it to wild speculation. Wrong comparison. Compare it to idle cash. Compare it to doing nothing.
Exactly. The right comparison is not always, can this beat the hottest asset on earth? Sometimes the correct question is, can this safely outperform laziness? And in many cases, yes.
Safely outperform laziness, that's gonna stick. Because that's real life finance. Not everybody starts with a huge strategy deck. Sometimes the first win is just getting your money out of neutral.
But then comes a discipline rule, and this is where people need to pay attention. You have to leave I-bonds alone for at least 12 months. 12 months means 12 months. Not, I'll try it for a minute. Not, I'll check next quarter. You're committing for a year.
And the 12 months piece actually helps the mindset. Because if you're the kind of person tempted to poke at your money every week, and listen, a lot of entrepreneurs are like that, this forces you to chill.
It forces maturity. And there's another rule. If you cash out before 5 years, you lose 3 months of interest. That's the trade-off. So before 5 years, there's a cost to pulling out early.
Wait, 3 months of interest is the part people need to write down. Not all your interest. 3 months of interest. Still, that's enough to make you think twice before acting impulsively.
Correct. It's a built-in speed bump. And honestly, I like speed bumps in wealth design. Systems that reduce impulsive behavior are useful because humans are emotional. We say we're investing, but sometimes we're really just reacting.
That's a gem, because discipline is not punishment. Discipline is protection. In the studio, in business, in content, if I don't have structure, I start moving off emotion. Same with money. A 12-month lock and a 3-month interest penalty before 5 years? That's not the enemy. That's the guardrail.
And once you understand that, you stop asking whether I-bonds should be your whole plan. They shouldn't. This is part of the architecture. I-bonds for safe foundation, stocks for growth, real estate for cash flow, business for control.
Say that again. Foundation, growth, cash flow, control. That stack is the mindset. I-bonds safe foundation. Stocks growth. Real estate cash flow, business control. Now you're not depending on one lane to do everything.
Which is how wealthy people think. They balance high-risk plays with guaranteed growth. They build layers, protection, and expansion at the same time. That's how you make wealth more durable than your mood.
And that's where generational wealth really changes shape. It stops being flash. It becomes structure. Imagine being able to tell your kids, we got money in bonds, real estate, stocks, and businesses. You're not just leaving assets, you're leaving a map.
A map and a mindset, because wealth is not built in one move. It's built through consistent, smart decisions, repeated, quietly, sometimes, without applause, often, but repeated.
So maybe the question that lingers isn't, can I get rich fast? Maybe it's, what am I building that can stay solid while I sleep? TreasuryDirect might not be trendy. I-bonds around 4% might not be the loudest room in the building. But maybe the quiet room is where the future gets protected.
Open the account when you're ready. Start small if you need to. Just don't keep confusing unfamiliar with impossible.
Own everything.
Own it with structure.
TJU. Walk in the room, that's proof. Blueprint tucked in the suit. Turn every bar to a business move. Down by law management, say it with respect. Name on the paperwork, name on the check. Ownership talks, I don't flex on credit. Put my people in position, then I go let them set it. We don't chase cosigns, we sign our own. Turn a mixtape dream to a bossed up home. From the basement grind to the boardroom seats. Got a LLC for the legacy, not just tweets. This that on your masters, this that on your mind. We building brands for the long run, not just a quick shine. Down by law, we stand on it. Heavy on the code, keep our hands on it. Independent, but the power feel enormous. Strategy and honor, that's the real performance. Down by law management, write it in stone. We don't rent respect, we buy back the throne. For the culture, for the fan, for the ones who believe. This is CEO anthem, we were born to lead. Let's go. I see a hungry artist, I see a future boss. Teach them equity and leverage, how to price they cost. Show them how to make a catalog. Move like stock, make the merch feel rare, make the logo talk. Brand on point from the rollout plan to the drop date, timing to the core date. One fans, we break bread fair. Loyal to the soil, never snake the circle, keep the contracts loyal. I'm talking late night calls, early AM flights. Turn pain into product, turn struggle into rights. Got lawyers on the line, got mentors in the room. If they try to play the culture, we return with you. We stand on it, heavy on the code, keep our hands on it. Independent, but the power feel enormous. Strategy and honor, that's the real performance. Down by law management, write it in stone. We don't rent respect, we buy back the throne. For the culture, for the fam, for the ones who believe. This is CEO anthem, we were born to lead. Who taught you how to read that deal? Who told you that your art worth real? Who showed you that your face could be a seal on a company you built? That's generational still. We ain't just chasing charts, we chasing freedom. Turn every last fan to a kingdom, we lead them. Down by law, that's the code, that's the creed. We don't just win alone, we make leaders succeed. Down by law, we stand on it. Heavy on the code, keep our hands on it. Stand tall. Watch the story unfold. For the culture, for the